Five, four, three, two, one. Hello and welcome to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, and this is update 1.201, the most wanted update, which dropped yesterday. I've been having a play here and there, and I've assembled a showcase, or rather, a D Wolfie one plays Space Engineers with update 1.201. Now, this came with an absolute ton of fixes, a bunch of new things, and most importantly, all of the blocks on this side of me here, where I am at the moment, are free. They were added to the base vanilla game. There were some blocks which are still free, but were added to the various DLC packs. So we're going to take a look at these blocks that were added to the base game first, and some of the new features and some of the new things that you can do. So let's look here. We have some new armor pieces, and these you can go through yourself and see the names are large grid, and they help to craft better transitions of the various blocks that we already have. You can get them in small grid as well. There are 6 here in small, 6 in large. But what's really cool, if I take you over here, this is the kind of thing you can do with the new shapes. They're a lot smoother, they blend in a lot better, they should give ships far more detail, far more interesting detail and design. Yeah, I really like these, and I will be playing around with these a lot as I work out various armor shapes and so on. What's next? Whew, a lot. Let's move here. You might notice we now have a small and a large grid conveyor tube T-junction. At long last, we have this in the vanilla game. That's really cool. And what else? Wow. Let's look. No particular order. The small advanced rotor, which means now we can make more compact turrets and more compact little rigs using the new custom turret controller block. We can have a lot of fun with these. And just to say, I have made a very simple little turret here. As you can see, it uses one of the new rotors, and if that was all piped in, the ammo would flow to it. But that's brilliant. Then, well, we've got this tiny fella here, the Engineer plushie. Now, already on the PC, I don't know if it's made it to Xbox yet, but somebody has created Be the Plushie. You can now play as one of these little adorable things here. I will probably be hiding them somewhere aboard my ships, just because. Then we've got some windows. Yeah, these are awesome. Rounded windows, which were originally a mod, and these are now part of the vanilla base game. We've got them in small grid, and we have them in large. And you can make some pretty cool windows with them. And once again, here is something I just threw together, prepared earlier. Looks great, and I can't wait to see what people do with their bases and ships using these. I can see lots of little lunar roving style modules or even pods with this design. And what else? Well, if you're a fan of them, we've now got mirrored half cover walls for those places to shoot at spiders from or other people. Then we have the ladder shaft, and these are great because you can tell where you are on the shaft when you get to those arrows. So if you put 2 or 3, they all have these little platforms on, so you can make things that lead to other floors. I've just got this little thing here through together. See, you can jump up on the ladder, take a bit of a climb. Here, look out, these are just the regular windows and the like. And I'm using the decompressed air vent trick to put oxygen inside this little observation place. I love these ladder shafts. They're pretty brilliant. We'll come in here in a bit because there's something I want to show off. Anything else? Well, you probably noticed that we've got, like I said, the T-junction. We also have the conveyor converter. This is something I've been after for ages. I wanted one of these in Space Engineers for absolutely ever. And as you can see, it goes from a large, one port there, one port there, one at the top, one at the bottom, and 3 small ports at the front. So this should allow us to convert down quite nicely and make more interesting ships. Then, another firm favourite of mine, reinforced conveyor tube. Now, as you know, with the conveyor tubes, you can't put things on top of them. You can if you use the reinforced conveyor tubes. So we have a reinforced conveyor tube. We have a curved conveyor tube with a little C on it to denote so you can see it exactly. And a reinforced conveyor tube T-junction as part of this. All 3 added to the base game. And the same deal. In the small grid, we get the same thing. Conveyor tube, curved, and T. So we've got all that. So that's quite a chunk of stuff added to the base game in terms of blocks and additions. And as part of this, we have a new, nice and shiny camera overlay. I'm not using a mod. I used to use the clear camera, but no longer. Now we have this and the crosshair and everything, and it looks great. If I point it at something dark, you can see the detail on it. And this is just a custom turret I threw together to demonstrate it. You can also any camera as well, so not just anything attached to a turret. For instance, let's go for that. You can have a nice clear camera view of everything now when using things like drones. And if you want to know how to make one of these, well, I've got the video on my channel. You should be able to find it quite easily. Just leave this little drone hanging here. And a couple of other things. They've also added better block mirroring. So when you're building in mirror mode, let's just throw down this block and pressing the right stick, activate symmetry setup. You can now see that when you change symmetry, we now have symmetry in the middle, and now symmetry on the further side of the block. Before, it used to kind of move in a different way. Watch my videos on symmetry, you'll see. But now, it's a lot easier to build. symmetry mode. With that, so there's a few other things. The lead indicator for artillery weapons and so on now works in Gravity. And there's also been a tweak with how damage is calculated from ammo stored in containers. That is it for the free stuff. I do believe everything on this platform here that you can see is all free, all added. But if you own DLCs, then come with me up here. And if you don't, this is a great time to pick them up. So, welcome to DK Pack 1. Decorative Pack 1, we have some inverted desk corners, which are great, and they work really well on builds, especially if you've got lots of like windows in the corner. Just stick one of these next to them. You've got the one without the chair and the one with the chair. Then on Decorative Pack 2, we have some half-grated catwalks. And a half-grated catwalk straight. One with a railing on the opposite side. And these will be brilliant for spaceships and bases. They will be fantastic specifically for that kind of thing. And still on Decorative Pack 2, we have the centre railing and we have the 2x1 right. This angle, when we were building things like this using the 2x1 base slope, we could never get that angle because we didn't have that railing. Now we do. And that's really cool. Moving on again. Sparks of the future. The large grid neons have had 3 new pieces added. The U-shape, the T-shape, and the circle, I believe, are the new ones. But the small grid neons didn't exist. Now we've got small grid neons. And all the shapes are available on small grid. And if you want to know what they look like when you put them down on something, well, just let me change the time of day. Let's make it darker. There we go. And there's your neons on my impromptu gun turret. Gluing away quite nicely in small grid. And then over here on a bunch of conveyors, here on the neons glowing brightly in blue. If you can hear any scrabbling, one of my cats has decided to scratch up one of the doors because they won't let him into the kitchen. They know where the food is. But yes, these are your neons from Sparks. And then let's just come back down to earth. Heavy industry. The conveyor pipe T-junction. Remember the round conveyors. Whoops. Excuse me. Remember the round conveyors from heavy industry. All the way over here. On your build menu. Remember these? Just actually let me pop the time of day back so we can see again. There we go. And there is your T-junction. Very nice. Also, what I forgot to mention is there are 2 new armor skins as well. There's a weldless and a skin that makes things look like crates. It's like a corrugated metal kind of skin. But there is a bug with Space Engineers at the moment. Keen are working on the hotfix. It's not showing up in our paint menu. So we're a bit stuck on that one on console at the moment. But it'll be sorted. Anyway, back to where we were. Heavy industry. Conveyor pipe T-junction. And Warfare 1. We're looking at 2 new half windows. We have the sloped one, the diagonal, and we have the round one. Finally, Warfare 2 Broadside. These were in Warfare 2 Broadside, but these were not. The inverted bridge window faces, which means that you can make bridges look like this now. Make some really interesting carrier style bridges underneath, allowing for some absolutely awesome designs. And that is all the new stuff added to the DLC packs. So, to recap, 1.201 has a lot of great features. It has a lot of new blocks and quality of life changes and fixes to various things, like the camera overlay, which is possibly one of my favorite things, as well as the T-junction and so on. And these conveyors, which are just brilliant, that you can actually build these things a lot better with a lot more structural integrity as well. So we have a lot to play around with. And honestly, I would really like it if Keen Software every so often did a Most Wanted community update to the game and brought more of these free blocks in. I don't mind supporting Keen with the paid DLCs because I've enjoyed the content from them and they enrich the game as far as I'm concerned. They're never pay to win. And it's a small price to pay to help Keen build a better game. I'm all for that. And yeah, there you go. That's it. That is the Most Wanted update, which came out yesterday. There is a hotfix on the way, and there have been some more bugs reported. So if you do have bugs, do you have any problems, just hit up the Keen Xbox support site. I will leave that link in the description of the video. I don't want this to go on any longer than it has to. So I will say, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game, enjoy these new blocks. Let me know, show me some pictures in my community tab, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.